Hi, it's Kathy Hampton here from Wellside Retreats. I'm founder of Wellside Retreats, a transformational destination retreat and life coaching service. Now, what I do is I help Black women move away from what no longer serves them and move them toward what will serve them well. I talk about wellness on this channel, and wellness pertaining to the mind, body, spirit, the practices of wellness. How do you get yourself well in all of those categories? How do you stay well? And if this is the first time that you've seen me or seen my videos, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you're made aware when I come back on and have other things to let you know about. So today's video is about sabbaticals. What does your ideal sabbatical look like? Or what does a career break look like? How do you want that to be a factor in your wellness? Getting back to feeling good, getting back to being rejuvenated, getting back to less of a load that you're carrying, less of a hustle that you're on. So, what does that look like? Well, I'm going to let you know about me. And the only reason that I'm telling you about me is so that you can get an idea of what may work for you. Not that I'm here to tell you all about my story and how great it is, because things, believe me, have not been great. And that's why I actually have needed to take a sabbatical, a career break, as well as quit my job. And you can and do things alone, travel solo, all manner of things that have created a space of wellness for me. And a sabbatical is just one of those things. So I'm presenting a few stories of my own to share with you, and hopefully you can take something away from from my experience that will help you along your journey. So, what does your sabbatical look like? Well, right now, my sabbatical, because I am on a sabbatical, is looking like I'm getting rest, I'm growing, and I'm knowing. Those three things are what I planned for my sabbatical. You don't necessarily have to plan a sabbatical. You can just say, you know what, job, I'm not coming back for 2 to 3 months, 6 months, or a year, if that is available to you. Or you can just do it if you and just doing it by planning it is what I would say is what I would advise to alleviate any other stresses. Plans are good, and you can plan with ease. That's what I did. I took time to plan out my sabbatical. Not every little fine, minute detail, but just what I wanted in the big picture of taking time off for myself. And a sabbatical can mean anything, can mean something for everyone. It can be a break in your career or a career break. It can be just time to learn something. Some people take learning sabbaticals where they're off studying instead of working. My sabbatical is 3 months, and I pictured for myself resting, growing, and knowing. And I'll break that all down for you in a minute. But I wanted to tell you a little bit more about sabbaticals, taking time for yourself, leaving work, leaving whatever you have been doing that may not be serving you well. As I said, Wellside Retreats is a transformational destination retreat business where I help Black women move away from what no longer serves them well. So if your work is not serving you well, your employment is not serving you well, your current business may not be serving you well, and you need to change things up, a sabbatical may be what will, you know, take you to the next step and serve you better. In preparation for this video, I'm going to refer to some notes because there are some things that I don't want to miss in talking to you. But in preparation for this video, I thought back, who do I know in my life who has taken a sabbatical? And I realized that some time ago, my mother did that. She was a school teacher in the San Francisco School District. And she had become a single parent to 3 girls and was doing it all alone in a place that she knew of but hadn't lived in for a long time. She'd lived there before, but was kind of new again to the city. And she had teenagers, and she needed time off. And so she took a year off. I actually was entering college, and she took time off and decided that she just needed a year, and she was granted that with the opportunity to come back to her job. She left and went to her childhood home and just took time off. And I recall her feeling happy. She was happy with familiar surroundings, with family members she hadn't seen and friends she hadn't seen in a while. She just knew people, and it was a sense of not being on that grind. Even as a teacher, she was off in the summers, but she actually worked during the summers as a teacher. She had, the 9 months of school and then 3 months off. My mother worked during those times off. And so she never had that freedom to just rest, rejuvenate, get herself back on her feet. She didn't even have time to travel, really. So this was her travel. And what it did for her was to give her a place to rest. And I put rest at the top of my list because resting, I found just within my sabbatical, is something that I actually have not really been doing. Even during this time of the pandemic, I haven't rested. Supposedly you're supposed to, be home quarantining and staying away out of the streets. But I have been working for my employers at one point, and taking care of family members or with family members. And there was no time for me to really rest. When I started sabbatical, it was really strange to rest. I had to learn how to lay down. And so I knew that was going to be something that I wanted, I saw myself doing, was resting. I wasn't sure how it was going to look or how it was going to feel, but I'm establishing a pattern of rest, napping, not getting up at a certain, time early in the morning, doing something, running, getting on that hamster wheel. I am truly resting. And it has really helped me focus. It has helped me feel more energetic when I do get out of out of bed or sit on the couch or just read. I really rest. Or sometimes I don't do anything. I just lay down, go to sleep. I take naps, and it's new. It's new. There's studies that say that babies' brain cells grow by napping, and that's why they sleep all the time. I mean, even older adults are told to take naps so that they can maintain a level of cognitive abilities, because they they have been going so much in their lives that they haven't had an opportunity to rest. And dementia can set in because their brain cells are not growing as frequent or as fast. I don't know where that information comes from, other than I've heard it from my pediatrician and I've heard it from my mother's doctors, senior elder care specialists. So, and in between, you have us middle-aged people who are constantly going, who have not rested, and that doesn't work out so well. It really doesn't help us middle agers. I'm gonna 50 plus. That is the group that I speak to quite often. But even nowadays, the millennials are quite active and working very hard. They need to rest. Everybody needs to rest. We need to rest. So that's what the first thing is on my. That's how I envisioned my sabbatical, to include rest. The next thing was growing. Growth. What does that mean? How am I going to grow? Well, I'm growing every day by evolving, changing, adjusting, pivoting, moving to another place. A friend who also has a YouTube channel called her name is Toni Denise, and she believes in us blooming, growing at a certain age. I'll put her website or her YouTube channel in the description box. And growth at 50 means that you aren't stuck, you aren't just planted and not moving or changing. You are evolving. And I saw that for myself, manifested that for myself, made that an intention for myself that I would grow by being on a sabbatical. And mine is a traveling sabbatical. And I say traveling sabbatical, I decided that I'm going to move away from outside of the United States to a new country to learn about it so that I know about it for my future reference, whether that be to come back to visit, whether to meet new people, whether that mean to move here and in retirement or sooner than that. I don't know, but I know that whatever I learned from this experience during the sabbatical, which I envisioned for myself, I would be growing in some way. And, as women get older, if they are single or even if they are married, there are shifts in our lives that occur that sometimes don't allow us to either meet new people or be in environments that are where you're exposed to new things. And I think it's important that women of a certain age, in their 50s and older, sometimes even 40s and older, need some stimulus to keep them growing, learning something new, doing something different, taking a walk, turning the corner on the right instead of going down the corner on the left. It all helps us grow and become aware of differences in our lives. And that is stimulating and keeps us fresh on our toes. That's what I envisioned for myself. That was what was part of what my sabbatical would look like. Will you do that on your sabbatical? I don't know. but I'm asking the questions so that you can sit still and start to know. That's the third thing, knowing, becoming aware of self. That is what I wanted to continue on my sabbatical. I speak a lot about self awareness. I call myself the queen of self awareness because I believe when you are aware of self, and that means not having an introspective perspective on yourself and knowing who you are by sitting with yourself, maybe asking yourself some questions. Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel so good? Why do I feel so bad? Why is that person treating me this way? Is it me? Is it them? Why are my legs sore? What? That's a joke, kind of, but because I've been in Portugal, in Lisbon, in surrounding areas, doing a lot of walking up the hills. So I had to try to figure out, besides my legs being sore, um, what I was going to do about that because there's no getting around uh, big hills if you're going to see the things in this new area that I have immersed myself in. Anyhow, um, also knowing of yourself is gaining clarity on what you want, what you have done, what you desire. Gaining clarity when maybe things weren't clear uh, prior to, um, you know, a transformation or a change. Getting clarity. Um, you can't really see uh, things when you're either kind of stuck or within darkness until you start coming out and things become clearer. When the sky opens up, with sunshine, you can see beyond the clouds or beyond the horizon. So gaining clarity in each step of your life through transition makes your makes you feel better. If you can sit with yourself, gain clarity, and that self-awareness kicks in with all of the gratitude that energizes you to see things also clearer. When you're grateful for what you have had, what you do know, and how you have grown, that gratitude provides you more space to see things differently, brighter. So those three things are what I wanted for my sabbatical. That's how my sabbatical looks. How do you want your sabbatical to look? How do you want your career break to look? That's for you to design. That's for you to plan. That's for you to do. And it doesn't have to be a blueprint. It doesn't have to be a blueprint. It can be, I am going on a sabbatical for this long. I'm taking this break. And and it can happen. It can evolve. Now, you're not running away. Running away is not considering yourself. It is considering your emotions. So, I have a video on that, running away. Don't run away. You don't have to run away. But you can go. You can go away. You can get away. And you can plan for that movement so that you don't have to, suffer any other stresses by running away. So I hope this helps you. It is not all about me. It is about you and what you want in your life, your career break, your time off that hamster wheel, time away from that hustle, that grind. Take those naps. Consider building that into the plan. Put in learning something new so that you can grow. And then put in some time for self awareness and receive the clarity for what is on your journey, what's next on the journey. I'm Kathy Hampton from Wellside Retreats. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you if you were to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and oh yeah, buy me a coffee. The link is all pertinent links are in the description box. And leave me a comment, question, or answer. I appreciate you, and I will reply. I will reply to your questions. And if you have an answer for me, if I have left you with something that you think I need clarification on, leave that in the comments also. I appreciate that. But yeah, buy me a cup of coffee. There's a lot of great coffee here where I am, and I could use that. I'll leave the link in the description box. And also, oh yeah, one other thing I want you to do. If you could also go onto my website, wellsideretreats.care, Wellside Retreats with an S, .care, and subscribe to my blog posts. I come out with a blog post at least once or twice a month. It's getting better. I appreciate that. And you'll also be notified when workshops or retreats will be held. So until we see each other again on YouTube, I appreciate you and take care. Bye bye.